Alright, good evening. That makes 9:30, so let's get started. Today, welcome to my inaugural stream here for students of History 126, the United States since 1877, and we are going to be playing Twilight Struggle. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is John Riley. I am a history professor at Lycoming College in Williamsport, PA. I get 7 to place on my own, pretty standard opening move for Germany. For the Americans, is to place 4 into West Germany and then overcharge Italy to guard against a possible Soviet coup there. Alright, so I'm going to commit my decision. Here we go. Turn 1. Once a game that would likely lead to my utter demise in a head-to-head match, good sir. Well, it depends who you play against, I suppose. I have, for a while, we haven't done it lately, but for a long time I had an ongoing set of games with another professor at Princeton, good Dr. Fagel, and I mean, not to boast, but I think I went on a 13-game winning streak, 13 or 14? Here we go. Let us see. I think I actually want to open, not with this for the event, but rather for its points, and I'll let the event shuffle back in. Hopefully the Soviets will get it. Let us shore up Korea. Iran's a nice choice here. Now I also want to begin, I really want to get Canada up there for NORAD, so for now I've neutralized the threat of Asia or the Middle East scoring. And we go ahead. But if I roll well, I could potentially put in place a very stable US-backed regime. In fact, I have a 50% chance of getting full control right now. So let's see what happens. Let us, as they say, roll those dice. And it's so good! Oh! A US-backed coup in Pakistan has kicked out the socialist government and put in place a firmly US one. Let's see here. Headline for me, I think I want to screw up the Soviets' plans. They're busy purging their best officers, and they're going to be distracted by that and lose points from their cards this turn. So let's see what they do. Oh, the Korean War. Oh boy. Oh my gosh, they won! Oh, the Soviets won the Korean War. That's what happens when you don't have support. Oh my gosh. Yep. What I'm trying to do is basically convince the Iraqi people to give up on their current socialist government. And you add in modifiers from adjacent countries. So I have influence coming in from Iran, he has a government in Iraq, and it shows you the results. It's not great. There's an almost 60% chance that this does nothing, but there's a slight chance that it can degrade, possibly even eliminate, all of their influence. So let's just see what happens. Nope, no change. He rolled better than I did. I tried broadcasting messages to the Iraqi people, but they did not want to hear it. They were not fooled. So I'm also going to go for the space race. I'm going to try and get my first satellite in orbit. And it's a success! Explorer 1 is in orbit! Yes! Alright, I do get a victory point for that. That can potentially offset the victory point I'm about to lose for not being enough of a warmonger for the American people. Oh, the space race with it. Marshall Plan? Oh my gosh, they failed again. That's just bad. That's just bad luck. There's a 66% chance that the Soviets or the US can put an animal into space. And the fact that it's failed twice in a row, that's just unfortunate for the Soviets. I mean, it's great for me, don't get me wrong. That's just bad luck. Okay, perfect. Now's the time to strike. That went to France. Do not care. We're going to score Southeast Asia for its 4 points. Boom. Good. And got that out of my life. Oh boy. What is this hand? What is this hand? Soviet event, Soviet event, Soviet event, Soviet, 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 Soviet. Oh my gosh, this is a nightmare. Alright. There's ways to salvage this. Headline, I really only have 2 US options. Grain sales to the Soviets. Screw it. We're just going to get control of West Germany back. It's after 11, so for those of you who've been with us for an hour and a half, I really appreciate that. Thank you for sticking in. We are continuing our stream here of Twilight Struggle. Things started well, I think, for the U.S., but the Soviets have had some really good... the U-2 incident. Powers has been shot down over the Soviet Union. Khrushchev baited the U.S. internationally, and we fell for it. And when he asked us to apologize, Ike tells him no. No, the Voice of America is an incredibly powerful U.S. card. Oh my gosh, and he used it to blow up yet another animal. Boy, these poor Soviet dogs. That doesn't actually do... Nah, I don't like that. Let me try this instead. I need to break up something else of them. That lowers it another point. 5 is much better than 8. Ask not what your country can do for you. The U.S. player may discard up to their entire hand, including scoring cards, and draw replacements from the deck. We're going to ditch that, because that was only going to benefit them. And I'm going to ditch this, because that's going to benefit them. Now, I could draw cards that are going to be very good for the Soviets. This is a gamble. Oh, Ninaj XX is here. Welcome to the stream. Of course, I drew 2 Soviet vets. Charles de Gaulle is going to lead France. Remove 2 U.S. influence from France and add 1 Soviet influence, and it cancels NATO. I mean, that doesn't really change the situation at all. I could just put it to the space race. Let's put it to the space race. It's a success! Yuri Gagarin is not the first man to orbit. He's not the first man, in space. It's gonna be an American instead. Oh, that was desperately needed. That was desperately needed to bring that score down. But now they are in the bear trap, and they're going to have to discard at least a 2-ops card in order to try and satisfy this. And if they roll like they've been rolling on their space race, they could be stuck here for a while. So the Soviets failed to escape the bear trap, which means I get to take my turn, and the next turn they're going to have to discard another card again. This is a great moment for me to potentially turn the tide here in some key areas. Now he has to play another card to try and escape the bear trap. And it failed again. This is where it turns. This is where it turns, right here. The Soviet... Oh my gosh, 2-2. I only have a 50% chance of winning, according to chat. Y'all are brutal. Thank you for doing the quiz. I only just today figured out how to add things like that to my Twitch page. So, yay, I'm glad it works and that you can find it. Holy cow, they failed! The Soviet Union is bogged down fighting the Mujahideen in Afghanistan, and we are supplying them weapons 100%. Like, that is a huge part of Reagan's foreign policy, is pumping money into the Mujahideen. I'm actually so giddy I have no idea what to do. Alright. Soviets are still stuck in the bear trap. They're just wasting cards and not able to do anything. Let's see what they do next. South African unrest, but they successfully got out, so they will get to have a normal card play on their next turn. But holy cow. What was that? That was like... Yeah, that was 3 cards in a row for them that they lost out on. That's huge. Alright. The score still doesn't look pretty, but I'm breathing a lot better. This is... I'm in the lead, neutral. Only one place is the Soviets have any real advantage. Oddly enough, it's Europe, but I'm feeling a lot better here. 1 point coup card against where? They're continuing to chip away at Zimbabwe. There's something about that there. I scored Africa. He must have not been able to hold it anymore. He might only have scoring cards left. The question is where. If it's Central America, I'm fine. If it's Asia, I'm fine. So I think I make a play for South America. Ah, that's right. If I play that card, let's undo that. I can use literally any other 2-point card. One or two, nothing happens. Am I better off just placing? I might be. What happens if something like this goes on? Not particularly exciting. Right now they actually gained the lead, so that's a guaranteed point. But the fun way would be... You know what? Let's roll those dice. We're going to do the coup. A Venezuelan coup. It's super successful. No one has control there now. So, yeah, and he did South American scoring, which is a blank. Nobody gets it. The kitchen debates. When Khrushchev and Nixon walked through a model home of a United States house showing all the modern amenities that they had, and they had a very spirited but intense debate about which side was better, capitalism and communism. Look, Khrushchev wasn't an easy man to deal with, but like literally at one point Nixon reaches out and pokes at him. And if I can give you one piece of advice, as someone who's spent more than a decade in higher ed studying the past, is that don't touch foreign heads of state, like ever. Just don't do it. It's not great. Don't touch foreign heads of state. But here in this case, the U.S. controls more battlegrounds. I poke my opponent in the chest and I gain victory points. Boom. I think I'm okay with that. What I'd like to do is a coup. Get another very positive pro-US government set up in the Central America. That's great. Unfortunately, the Portuguese Empire comes apart, and that does affect my control. And I did it right in the nick of time! That was supposed to be so much more devastating. I mean, he still gained 3 out of it, but it could have been more. Oh, isn't that great? And now, we are going to use the China card for maximum effort. It's just a question of where. It is just a question of where. I think I want to get those in Afghanistan, finish having control of Japan. Oh yeah, this is going to be so good when this finally scores. I have no idea where the Asia card is. And let's just break up North Korea's control a little bit. Alright, we both rattled our sabers enough. Nobody lost anything. Oh my gosh, I won. The game was ended by held scoring cards. So that is one of the things you're not permitted to do. You are not permitted to hold a scoring card that you need to play. I have no idea what scoring card he held. I don't think it'll show me. That's so unsatisfying. I wanted the win to come from my brilliant strategy, not whatever that was. It clearly must have just been he tried for too long to get control of key areas and he failed. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Asia card. Because, woof, that would have swung it, and then going forward he was in rough shape. So yes, the tide had definitely turned. I'm just sad I didn't get to show you that win that way, but I am glad I won, because holy cow, it did not look like it was going to go that way for a while. And somebody got in at the last second with a safety vote, 3-2. Thank you for the vote of confidence. I did not think that was going to play out the way it did.